What's up, everyone? Welcome into Dodger Heads, presented by DodgerBlue.com, part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined today by Blake Williams, Scott Geirman, Trevor Morgan, and in honor of May the 4th be with you, this is going to be the nerdiest Dodger Heads in the history of Dodger Heads because Star Wars has taken over. We've got all sorts of questions. Blake, I'll turn this over to you. Can you just sort of give me like a 10-second summary of the level of Star Wars that is about to happen in this video?
Yeah, this is where the fun begins. It's going to be a lot of nerding out here, and we're going to have some fun.
Love it. And in case you didn't notice, that is Blake wearing Jedi robes and R2-D2 beanie. Trevor is sort of a more subdued Star Wars action going on.
I'm representing. I got my Dagobah shirt. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Slightly less. Yeah.
Scott's got Yoda, baby Yoda, excuse me, Grogu. God, I'm offending everybody in the first 90 seconds of this thing, but he's got him going behind you. So let's just jump right in. And Blake, you're wearing the R2-D2 beanie. They just gave out a Grogu beanie. And the first question we wanted to talk about was, are the Dodgers missing the boat on these giveaways? They've gone beanie back-to-back years. So Blake, I'll start with you and then I'll pass it to Trevor and Scott afterwards. But what are your thoughts on the Star Wars giveaways the Dodgers have done thus far?
Yeah, so they've done beanies the back-to-back years, like you said, and I feel like there's just so many opportunities they're missing. If people remember, there was 3 years where they did bobbleheads. They did the Oral One Kenobi, they did the Hyun Solo, and there was Kenley Calrissian. So I'm thinking like they're missing the obvious bobblehead of CT3PO here. Like, come on, that's too perfect not to have. And then there's some other ones. You could have like a Mookie Fett bobblehead. There's Max Rebo, Max Muncy, and Max Rebo. If you don't know who he is, he's the blue elephant guy in Return of the Jedi. So there's just some opportunities they're missing there where they could do a lot of fun. And we're a little over the beanies. You don't need beanies too often in California to begin with. So there's just some other ideas that they could have.
Scott, I'm going to pretend like I knew who half of the people that Blake just mentioned were. You were there. You were there for the Baby Yoda beanie giveaway. Are you sort of in line with Blake? Like, let's get some bobbleheads going. Do we have other ideas for giveaways they could do?
So I kind of dropped the ball on coming up with more ideas than that. But I was thinking that, perhaps like they've been kind of, I'm going to say they dropped the ball. I'm not a fan of the limited ticket giveaway for these things. I was kind of upset, but if they were to do one, it would be a Dodger Jedi robe, which would be absolutely electric because looking around the stadium, it seemed like there were flocks, like absolute just sections of everyone wearing the Yoda beanie. And not only was it hilarious, I just think this Dodger Jedi robe, like Blake tosses on the hood there. You just look around up in Loge and you just see everybody with the hood on. Insane.
Yeah. Are we putting like a Dodgers name on the back? Like, is it a Jersey Jedi robe mix? Or are we just going
absolutely
blue? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Nerd it up.
There we go. So Trevor, we've got Jedi robes as a suggestion. We've got bobbleheads as a suggestion. Do you want to pick a side here? Do you have a third option that you'd like to throw out there?
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Trevor there. Not sure what happened. So we'll see if we can get him back. My question, Blake, I'll throw to you. I mean, nobody's mentioned the blue lightsaber, like a Dodgers lightsaber. What about that?
Yeah, you could do like a baseball bat lightsaber kind of thing. I think it would be perfect. It's like there's just so many ideas they're missing out here that they could be doing, and we're just going with beanies.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on to the next question. We'll see if we can get Trevor to hop back on here in a second. Among Dodger players, now we're gonna shift a little bit here. So we've gone from the giveaways to now we're getting into Star Wars stuff, and again, it's going to get more nerdy the longer this video goes. I can assure you of that. Scott, I'll start with you. If you were drafting Dodgers that would become Jedis, I don't know if I'm even using the right language here, so apologies. But which Dodger would make the best Jedi?
All right, I've got two, and I'm gonna speed right through them real fast. When the light shines brightest, when the moment's on the most, Jock Peterson steps up. And that lightsaber, when he's got to wield that thing, when he needs to go in the duel, Darth Vader standing in front of him, those 12 postseason home runs really solidify that for me. So he's up there to step up.
You're going with the guy who's not even on the Dodgers?
Yeah. This is all time Dodgers. This isn't current.
Blake, who invented this
Dodgers.
guy?
Yeah, this is Blake and I talked about this. This is all time Dodgers.
Okay. I mean, okay, Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor is back. Trevor, I'll let you chime in here. Which Dodger would make the best Jedi? Apparently, Scott doesn't think any of the current Dodgers qualify as Jedi, so he had to go for Jock Peterson. But
okay, well, it's not just a Jedi, right? One that could fight Vader. Was that the question, right? Freddie Freeman.
Kind of a 2-for-1. Freddie Freeman, okay. And
no
why
doubt.
Freddie?
Oh, dude, he's got the Anakin Skywalker build to him. Have you seen the way he holds a bat? If that thing was a lightsaber, you're done. It's over.
I don't know.
Okay, Blake, your turn.
I think I'm taking Tony Gonsolin here. He kind of gives off Jedi vibes. He's a bit quiet. Like, he's kind of got that long hair going. Like, he could easily get that into a Padawan braid if he needed to. He just gives me kind of like Qui-Gon vibes. Like, yeah, I think he's shown he can pitch. He can do kind of everything. He was a shortstop in college a bit. So he's just kind of got the all-around skills, and I think that would kind of translate. And just that mentality, Jedi mentality.
Gonsolin definitely feels like the guy most likely to show up wearing Jedi robes to a random game, so I'll give you that. I told Blake right before we hopped on, I feel like, and I'm not saying Jedi because I think he might be on the other side of things, but Blake Trinan feels like he just looks like a guy that belongs in a Star Wars movie. Like, when I just look at his face, I'm just like, like if he just popped up as like one of the guys, running a ship or something like that, or he's on the bridge, I could see Trinan. So that's my thought. Let's shift this around real quick. Which Jedi would make the best Dodger? Blake, I'll start with you here. If we're going the other way. So which Jedi would you want to draft onto the Dodgers? We could use a guy who could hit lefties in the outfield. Does one of those exist?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It seems like everyone who joins the Dodgers just doesn't hit lefties. But, okay, if you put Yoda up to the plate, I don't think any pitcher's throwing him a strike ever. Like, he's going to have a perfect on-base percentage. He's a little slow. They've dealt with some slower players before, and they're not built to run anyways, as Dave Roberts says. But, yeah, I just think you're putting him up there. He's a free base every single time.
Trevor, I feel like he's shooting low. He picked a Jedi that's just going to walk every time. I'd like a Jedi that could hit the ball, potentially.
I think that's a cop-out, Blake. And if you're going to do that, I'm not even going to choose a Jedi. I'm going to choose a Sith. Darth Maul would make the best Dodger because he's probably got the quickest lightsaber swing, which means, do you know how fast that bat swing is going to be? Unbeatable. He'll hit any heater that they throw at him. Aroldis Chapman down the middle. Home run.
I'm going to defer to you. I don't know. Is that within the rules of this game? Is he allowed to pick a Sith?
I think it can be done, although it's basically like taking an Astro and bringing them over. So,
speaking of picking Astros, Scott, why don't you chime in here on the which Jedi would make the best Dodger?
I'm going with Mace Windu.
Okay, and why?
That purple lightsaber, let me tell you, that little right-handed stroke, he's out here, very respected, right next to Yoda, one of the highest members of the highest respect levels of the Jedi Council. Okay. When there was some question, Mace Windu brought people back and led people back to the Jedi Order. You forget that, Jeff. I don't know if you know anything about that.
I didn't forget it because I didn't know it to begin with, but I'll take your word for it. I like the clubhouse presence, right-handed bat. He's hitting lefties, it feels like. Exactly.
So when you've got that youth and inexperience, Mace is going to be out there, and I like to compare him to a little bit of what Chase Utley can do. So I'm going to pull up Chase Utley's best power season just for you, Jeff.
Okay.
We're going a little 33 bombs, 104 RBI, a little 915 OPS. Okay. I could use that at second base. Let me tell you.
Wait, what about your guy Miggy? He's taking Mickey V. You're the Mickey V guy, and he's taking. I want
that gritty veteran. I want that guy that's going to bring that presence. Bring that order, and that's that purple lightsaber. You're seeing that.
I didn't see that coming where Scott just replaced Miguel Vargas, but we're going to move on past that one. We've got one last question. This is where you all are about to say a bunch of words that I'm not positive are actual real words and exist in the English language. But the fourth question here is, and Trevor, I'll start with you. Which planet should get an MLB expansion team? I know the A's are looking for somewhere. There's some skepticism about the Vegas deal. If the A's need a new place and we're looking into the galaxy, where do you think a good fit would be?
Yeah, listen, my first thought was Alderaan, but let's just say they're probably not going to make it to the playoffs, if you know what I mean. My second guess is going to be Coruscant. Can you imagine that fan base? It's an entire city of people. There's billions of people with one baseball team. The broadcasting rights alone would be worth trillions.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he made a lot of references I'm not sure about there, Blake. So I'll just come straight to you. Which planet are we giving an MLB expansion team to?
Yeah, I was also thinking Alderaan, but it's just a great planet. But the Death Star had some other plans for that. So I think I'm gonna go to Mandalore. We're gonna get the Mandalorian Warriors team. Like
Okay.
all the people there are warriors, of course, got a lot of strength and training. So I think they would enjoy the competition and they would be good players too.
Obviously, peak Mandalore, right? Not like Mandalore, like post Empire. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I was going to say wood bats. Are they going to be good with wood bats? It feels like they might be fit better in the college ranks.
Yeah, maybe.
Scott.
Best car bats. Could you imagine that?
Scott, which planet are we giving an MLB expansion team to?
I don't know about how much the population would be, but Bespin. I just want bombs. I want like 5,000-foot homers. It's a gas. Here you go. Sorry, Jeff. It's a gas planet.
Okay.
All right. They're not actually living on the surface. So, okay. They have like sky cities, and I just want bombs. I just want 5,000-foot homers, things that, you get a little bunt, 10,000 feet.
Okay.
Easy. Yeah.
Okay.
I
think
there you go. A 20 ERA might be good there.
Yeah. That's like AAA on steroids right there. So there you go. Well, again, Star Wars nerds, I hope you enjoyed this. Blake, Scott, Trevor, thank you all for joining. Let us know your thoughts below. Every time we do these watch parties, I see people that are all about Star Wars. I feel like the odd man out. So I'm sure this video is going to do well. We're going to get some comments in the thread below. So thank you for joining. If you're new here, please subscribe, ring the notification bell below. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Trevor. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, go Dodgers.